Okay, so the first question is time frame for autonomous vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, we give you the time frame for the technology being ready to be introduced in cars. I think Asami-san has explained it during the presentation, 2016, one-lane highway, 2018, multi-lane highway, 2020, normal city condition, 2022, 2023, all condition, which means city and exceptional circumstances. This is for the technology being mature. Now, car introduction, now we need to go more into the planning, because obviously this you have to go into the product planning of Nissan, the product planning of Renault, soon the product planning of Mitsubishi, and we'll tell you by car by car. And for the moment, we launched the Serena with 81 in Japan. This was launched a few months ago. That's the first experience we have. For the rest, I don't think we unveiled car by car timing, but it will come. I mean, obviously, first we focus on technology ready, and then when the technology is ready, we will tell you what are the cars with the introduction. Obviously, Japan is going to be a main area of presentation of the technology, followed by the United States and China. These are going to be the three major objectives. For Renault, it's going to be obviously Europe. So we're going to go step by step, and we are much more interested into giving you timing for mass marketing. That's the most important thing. Because I had a lot of discussion with many of you today, and there is a lot of confusion because people, you see some of the technology, you see experimentation taking place, but there is a big discrepancy in the timing between a prototype is ready and the car is mass marketed. I'm going to give you an example. I have driven an AD3, which means city driving autonomous car, yesterday in Palo Alto. Okay? So if you come with me in the car, you're going to say, oh, these guys are ready. We're not. Prototype is ready, it works perfectly well, but before we mass market it, we're going to probably need 3 years to go around all these particular cases which are very complicated, which may come once every 6 months. But we need to solve all these issues. We need to make sure we can count on the best technology, sensors, new algorithms, etc., that are going to allow us to be 99.99% reliable. So we have to make the difference between prototype ready. I can show you a car without a driver today, and this is ready today for prototype. Mass marketing is a completely different story, which often takes much more time to be ready without counting the regulator. So far, I don't think anybody can imagine, autonomous car, that means whenever there is a driver in the car, it's fine. Because even if you do nothing in the car, if the car is stuck, you're going to intervene. So human intervention is here because the driver is in the car. So this is not the case. The case is when you have a driverless cars, okay? No matter how powerful is the algorithm, how much sophisticated, how much artificial intelligence, we will always find you a case where the car will be stuck, okay? And that's what we're learning with NASA, for example. Even they have a lot of automation, they are handling, engine, robots, etc., at a very long distance. There is always a case where you need human intervention, because no matter what, artificial intelligence today is not at a stage where it can replace human mind. The objective is limit human interface to the minimum number of cases. Okay, that's the objective. But I think Martin said it very clearly during the presentation today. We don't think you can just avoid it. In fact, a lot of the experience of driverless cars still have somehow human intervention. Okay, maybe 15 years down the road, 20 years down the road, we can overcome that. I doubt it. I still doubt it. And we have a lot of cases today that we are analyzing where, with the algorithm we have, with the sensors we have, there are cases where humans are necessary because humans know how to overcome the rules and at the same time respect them. Okay? Computer, for the moment, they don't know. It's okay? So you have to go very sophisticated system to tell them you follow the rules, but in some cases, you're not going to follow them, and when you follow them, you're going to make sure that it is very safe. So having a human support behind you, very limited, is probably the best way to go. So again, it doesn't condemn the technology, but we need to organize ourselves in order to make sure that there is a human recourse somewhere intervening whenever you have some exceptional circumstances. First question, I'm sorry, was?
What about India?
Yeah.
Like India, and how do you see this pan out? Especially connected cars, the numbers that you gave today?
Yeah, well, to be fair, we say that today we are concentrating our effort on particularly developed countries, mature countries, Tokyo, Europe, United States, China also. But it doesn't mean we're not going to go to India, Brazil, Russia. We will go, but you know, we cannot go in all markets at the same time. So there is a concentration on developed market. But infrastructure is going to be very important also. This kind of technology is going to require 100% reliability. It's going to necessitate very serious mapping, very serious connection with the environment, very serious communication systems, etc. So we will be very careful that when we introduce this technology, we have the environmental infrastructure which is necessary. Obviously, the big difference between us and our competitors is we cannot announce anything because we're actually selling cars. And we are selling cars in the segments. For example, when Tesla announced a new car that's going to come and compete against the Leaf or against the Volt, he can announce it 2 years in advance because he has no car today on the market. So it's not going to stop its sale. It's not going to change anything for him. We have to be very careful. We are selling actually cars. So we cannot tell you today what kind of technology we're going to bring in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years because it can stop our sales. So that's why the fact that we are extremely conservative in our communication about what's coming is because we actually are present on the market and we are selling cars. And we just want to make sure that the cars that we're putting on the market can have a full development. That's it. But yes, you're right. We want to compete on electric cars. We're going to be present in many segments of the market. We are not intending to keep the leadership electric car, just keeping one car in one segment of the market. We're going to go in many segments of the market. So we already told you that we are developing a low-cost electric cars in China, which, by the way, has a target the Chinese market, but then after that, it's going to go everywhere. And you can expect that at a certain point in time, you know, you'll have other electric cars in different segments of the market coming, on top of the development of the Leaf.